Hey guys, welcome back, Maverick here, and right now we're going to be watching Fairy Gone episode 17, right? So last episode, a lot of things happened. I'm not going to get into too much on my thoughts in regards to this. I do feel like it's suddenly, making the story a whole lot more complicated than it already is, but, the general gist of it is one of the three big mafia groups, Squee Carlin's, one of the leaders anyways, EJ, has now gotten his hands on the custody of a certain Black Fairy Tome, which also came out of nowhere, and now we have this entire side story in regards to their ancestors, and relating with some different factions that are related with these fairies. Not to mention, we still got this entire thing with the sort of a plot against the emperor, against the prime minister, against the duke, and then we also have this unresolved interpersonal relationship problem between Free and Mario. There's a lot of things, right? And most importantly, at the end of last episode, it seems that Damien, Veronica's benefactor, has been found out and will now be interrogated. So lots of things to do, lots of things to see, lots of things to learn about. Let's see if the anime can make a bit more coherent sense with this episode. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I guess actually I shouldn't say, if the anime can make coherent sense. It makes sense in a certain way, it's just very convoluted. Convoluted and complex. And what is your role in all this? That's like in an entirely different country, right? From this United Zesia. Alright, but we still don't know why, particularly, you want this Black Fairy Tome. And what is your role in all this? Oh, no opening? Alright. Oh, it leaked to a lot of places. Alright. Start explaining some stuff. Of course. Always has to do with the bloodline. Of course, she's distressed because she wants to learn about Veronica. Okay. So he is indeed the person that EJ thinks he is. Yeah. Good question. It's nice that you finally explained this 17 episodes in. Oh, actually, never mind. It didn't really explain anything that we didn't already know. Again, I'm mostly thinking my best guess here is that it's a way of creating fairy soldiers naturally. I mean, you don't. You guys don't even know what it's about. How can you say that?
中でしたか。
調べ物をしていました。船島の件ですかな。
はい。まず貿易船から押収されたものですが、黒の養成所第9部、いわゆる黒の9でした。
おお、
しかし残念ながら。
そうですか。不測の事態に備えてドロテアに大将をお任せしたのですが、見込み違いでしたか。
血開きのしようもありません。ただ黒の9を強奪したのは V カーリンだと判明しています。
なるほど。
この際、我々ドロテアは V カーリンを根絶やしにするつもりです。
異論はありません。もとより我々統一ゼスキアにとって害悪でしかない連中ですからな。
計画を首相に愚信する際、大臣にもお力添えいただければ幸いです。
微力ながら私にできることであれば何なりと。
ありがとうございます。
I like how it takes a formal proposal for them to get rid of the mafia.
そういえば養成大臣、
何でしょ
黒の養成所はすでにその半分以上が我々統一ゼスキアの管理下にあります。
う。ええ、ウイカーリンの耳、ヒルバート・ウォーロックから押収した黒の4を含めて6部、残りは3部です。
Okay.
残念ながら養成省が解読を進めていら、
興味が終わりですか。
一説によればスパールが滅び、北斗の全域が死の砂漠ミッドエンドと化したその原因について書かれている。
仮に仮にそうだとしたら人はそれを知るべきでは。
かもしれません。
So it might be an even bigger scale, larger scale kind of destruction and stuff.
水を一杯くれ。かしこまり。ウォーロックが捕まってから、グイカーリンはロンダキアでも動きづらくなる。奴らに命を狙われてるお前にとっては、いい避難先だ。
あなたも死を狙う。私がいい女だから？
お前が犯罪者だから。
Well, she's definitely attractive.
過去を水に流してやってもいい。
どうせなら飲み干してくれてもいいんだけど。
茶化すな。グイカーリンについて、お前が知ってることを。洗いざらいだ。ドロテアはもうお前を追わない。約束する。
なんで？それが条件。あなたは私を信じられないでしょうけど、私だってそう。信じさせて。
俺を信じろ。スイーティー。
これは確かなのか。
はい。記載されている全員がグイカーリンと深いつながりを持っている。その構成員。しかも幹部か、それに準ずるものと考えられます。
Okay.
ドイツ戦争時代から我々を支えてきた事業家の名がいくつも挙げられている。我が統一政府の高官。
Yeah, I've got their
これだけの者たちを拘束する以上、
claws in the entire country.
責任はすべて私が。
証人だったら君の切れと。
そのようにしていただいて構いません。
よかろう。
はっ。
ええ。それではそのように手配してください。
はい、姉子、喜んで。
Informant.
おためだ。しっかりやれよ、おめえら。えい。
この人たちに何したの？
私は別に何も。
で、姉子にはぜひこれを。
Dress up for them. Yeah, these two look good. The person on the dude on the left though. Really not showing it.
見るからにめちゃくちゃ金持ってそうで嫌なやつ。いや、だってさ、
統一戦争のどさくさに紛れて各国のお宝をくすねまくったとか。悪どいやつですが、ばらまくところにばらまくんで、社交界の名士ってんですかね。
じゃあ手はず通りに。
姉を。
You guys are being way too conspicuous.
作戦を開始します。
わかった。その件は私から外事省大臣に説明しておく。申し訳ありません。やはり時間からでないと。
外事省次官ニック・ライマー、ご同行願おう。
ドロテアのネイン・アウラー局長。突然なんです。
次期外事省大臣と目されているほど機関は優秀だ。あれなくてもわかるだろう。グイカーリンの件だ。
私には何のことだか。
わからんか。
So this is all information from Sweetie? And they should have done this a long time ago.
はい。足りますか。ここですよね。私とフリーが初めて会ったの。
この前に警備の打ち合わせか何かで顔を合わせなかったか。
ちゃんと話したのはここです。
だな。
まだ大丈夫ですよね。
見込むのは夜明け前だからな。眠くないか。なら平気だな。
そういえば、フリーはどうしてこの仕事をしてるんですか。
Alright, some heart to heart time.
こんなことくらいしかできないからな。戦うしか。
何のために戦っているの。
昔は最初は国を守るためだった。男なら兵士として戦場に出る。そういう時代だった。
統一戦争の頃。
ああ、気づいたら俺は戦うこと以外何も知らなかった。
戦争が終わってからも戦ってたの。
局長に拾ってもらってな。これまでは
なことないと思う。戦うこと以外も知らないなんて。あなたは私に手を差し伸べてくれた。
これで戦いに巻き込んじまった。
生まれた時から愛の子って血が関わるとことがないから。死んじゃったり。何もかも私のせいだって思ってた。でもそれって傲慢なんです。あ、自分の人生を生きてる。
Yeah.
誰かのためいろんな理由を抱えて来て最後まで自分の人生を生きて来て最後までその人の人生だから。たくさんのことを教わった。私も生きていいんだ。誰かのため自分の人生を前を向いて。戦ってるだけじゃないですよ。私ドロテアでおしゃべりしたり笑ったり
You're living.
食べたり。大事な仲間ができた。
そうか。
そうです。だから私は戦える。みんながいるから。あなたのおかげで。
Hmm.
それならよかった。
フリー。もうすぐ夜が明けます。
ああ、そうだな。
What? What was the end to that scene? That was... Oh my god. That was a...
お前を拘束する。
わしが統一ゼスキアに投資してきた額
That was a stupid
オルバーン首相とは統一前からの
scene.
もちろん首相も承認済みだ。
Ah, don't worry. Now all of your fortune will be donated to Ziskia.
それでか。
アウラー局長、グイカーリンに関するご報告ですか。
必ず結果を出せと念を押されました。
強引な手法は歪みを生むこともありますからな。
秩序と平和がもたらす人々の安寧と国家の繁栄を守るためならば、時にはやむを得ません。では。
So I guess all the raids were successful. Oh? Damien? What's with this?
僕をどこへ連れて行くつもりなんです
EJ、あの男の居所をつかみましたが、前代未聞の大取り物になりそうなので、俺たちはしばらくロンダキアから離れます。
危険な者たちが僕の存在を察知して命を狙うかもしれないということですか。
とにかく局長の命令です。安全な場所に移送します。
Hmm.
タミアン・アルバストラ、もうベルを利用しないで。
何を根拠にそんな。僕は彼女に何も強制していないよ。
でもあなたに協力するようにそう仕向けてるんでしょ。
彼女には彼女の理由がある。
復讐なんかしても意味はない。
それを決めるのは僕でも君でもない。彼女自身だ。
止めたいの、ベルを。
人は誰しも一人だ。彼女はもう僕の元には戻らないかもしれない。一人でもやり遂げるだろう。
ベルは一人じゃない。まだ私がいる。
Yeah, the pacing of this is just so weird. Alright, alright. I'll talk a little bit about this after the end. See you guys. Well, there we go. We finally started the operation against Gui Carlin. It only took them like, all of this time until they finally had a nice chat with Sweetie in order for them to get off their butts and do this, but I guess better late than never, right? Now, again, I find it very amusing that they've already had contact or known about Sweetie for so long already and only now have decided to move against one of the three mafia groups, right? So, it is what it is. Although I guess, to be fair, they might have decided, Noir, the director, might have decided to do this due to her getting information from Damien. Or, I guess his name isn't really Damien, but I'm just gonna call him Damien still anyways, because that's how I remember him. Yeah. So it might be possible that she was spurred on because of this new information. Which, by the way, I like how even though they talk a lot in regards to this entire, thing between all the fairy tombs and whatnot, at least for a third of the episode, right? Not really any new information was revealed in the end. We've known all along that Black Fairy Tomes mean there's some sort of stark secret hidden within them, and lots of people are trying to get their hands onto this. What exactly the secret is, we still don't know yet. I was guessing that it might be a way of, mass producing fairy soldiers without running into a risk of, all the different kinds of things, the rejection rate and whatnot. Judging from the dialogue here and the context here, it might be possible that they're harnessing the fairy energy to do something even more devastating, like a weapon of mass destruction or something like that, which is also possible. But, at the end of the day, it's just Black Fairy Tome is bad, right? And all the different parties are trying to vie for this tome and learn of its contents, right? So, to me, I definitely feel like Damien is probably, only working. There's definitely a reason why he's giving this information out now, right? He could have gone to Dorothea and given them this information a long time ago if what he truly wanted was to just make sure that nobody else got hold of the Black Fairy Tome. But apparently, I'm guessing he also distrusts the current government as well, distrusts Zesia. So he believes that it's probably not in his best interest to allow the Black Fairy Tome to fall under the government hands. So I feel like he still has another ace up his sleeve, and he's going to try to do something with this later on. He's not going to just allow the government to take away the Black Fairy Tomes. But yeah, anyways, there's this sort of, we basically have this sort of a treasure that everybody wants in a Black Fairy Tome, and then we also have just from the usage of fairy itself, we have two different kinds of sides, right? One side is, just wanting to use fairies, whether for good or for bad or whatnot, and the other side are those that want to destroy or at least control it, such as that of Radon, and that's probably why also in this United Zesia, or Unified Zesia right now, there exists the Ministry of Fairies and Dorothea, because they want to have a central control over this and not allow others to use them, right? So, not really much was revealed in the end here, to be honest, but definitely more foreshadowing for the future, right? Which is, I keep on saying, there's just so much stuff that's going on all the time. We still got lots of subplots that we don't know when we're going to come back and take a look at, right? Like, what about the Colonel? What about the other Mafia group, Arkham? What about, let's see, who else are we missing? Like, what about the Duke? Like, what's happened to him? What happened to the remnants of the rebels, right? What happened to, I don't know, what happened to a lot of people, right? There's a lot of things going on here, and really trying to put this together into one coherent story in the end is going to take a lot of work, and they're not helping the case by not actually giving us the full information as to, these various different things, right? Like, suddenly Damien is suddenly some person else. We suddenly have this other descendant from this other fairy scholar here, EJ and whatnot, and even to now, we don't really know what the Black Fairy Tome means, right? Did something mysterious happen 200 years ago with all these fairy tomes and whatnot? We don't know. Of course, you could say that maybe part of the story is in trying to piece together this puzzle and whatnot, but when you want to piece together a puzzle, you at least want to give the viewers some sort of views. You don't want to make it completely unguessable. That also, to me, takes out a lot of the fun of it. But yeah, anyways. I guess I did like how, in the story between Free and Maria, it's sort of like a circular effect, right? Free helped Maria, and Maria got back on her feet, grew a little bit more, learned a little bit more, and now it's Maria's turn to help Free when Free is feeling down, right? I do like this kind of dynamic between them. I just didn't really like the entire pacing of what happened here, right? So it's, we're flashing between different scenes, and then we're suddenly getting this emotional scene out of nowhere, and then we're back to some action scenes, and then at the very end we're into, without any really any intro or whatnot, we're immediately introduced to another scene, which also ends in an emotional outburst, right? And that scene was also very short. I feel like, pacing here is a big problem. We're not able to actually get into the mood first. We're just simply looking at what is happening on screen. At least for me, I feel like that's, if there's anything to take away from this episode in particular, it's that it doesn't really set the tone well before it actually gets into the emotional parts. And so it's really more, I feel more like, just as a viewer, rather than being able to emphasize with the characters and whatnot. Like, say, even the scene between Maria and Free, for instance. It would have been great if they could maybe talk a little, if Maria could maybe expand a little bit more about why she considers these people as her comrades, right? It would have even been nice if she particularly brought out these Oz again, right? And how she felt about this entire situation and how she's going through all of this. That would make it a much more emotional scene instead of just, these are all my comrades, I'm back on my feet now, hey, I'm your comrade as well. You know, you get what I mean? So, like, as with everything in regards to Fairy Gone, I feel like the underlying thought behind it, the story behind it is good. It's just the execution of it is really, really lacking. But there we go. I really don't want to make every episode turn into sort of a rant, but, well, I'll do my best, I guess. So, anyways, that's my review of Fairy Gone episode 17. See you guys next week as well. Bye-bye.